With that, we got to welcome Elijah Wood to the show.
Yeah.
Back to the show, actually.
Our guest friendly.
Hey, Elijah. Welcome back.
Take a seat. You throw on your headphones.
Did you have Brian Cranston in there?
He just left.
Aaron Paul overslept.
Guy's fantastic.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Aaron's MIA.
That's like as his character Jesse Pinkman would be.
Right. It's appropriate.
Sleeping, bitch.
Maybe he just did that, as a character thing.
Yeah, yeah. Look at me. I'm actually
Just keep
in
it
the
going.
character.
Yeah.
Irresponsible.
Right.
What's
Yeah, I
the
would
longest
like
you've
that
ever
bubble.
played a character? Because these guys have been, I guess, this is their 5th season. What's the longest you've stuck with one character?
Ooh, I guess up to now, probably Frodo, Lord of the Rings. That was the longest. 3 films.
How many years?
4 years.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
4 years, yeah.
Wow.
And Wilfred is, am I saying it right, Wilfred? I kept saying Willard. It's so hard to not say Willard.
I know.
Because that's such a
lot of people
People do it to me all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, that show Willie.
I've heard Wilbur. I love your show, Wilbur.
Season
I try
2.
not to correct people.
Season 2 on FX.
Yeah, season 2.
Wilfred Thursdays at 10 p.m. on FX. What are we going to see this season?
More weird shit.
Yeah, it's a weird show. I'm glad you said that.
Did anybody see the last episode?
I missed the last episode.
Oh yeah. There was an under the table blowjob.
Oh, really?
Shit. The last one. Yeah.
FX is great, man.
It is
just
great.
give
Well,
you
who gave it? Hold on. Who gave the blowjob and who got it?
It was the superintendent at the office that I work in. He was giving a blowjob to my boss.
Oh, guy was blowing. It's like it was
Yeah.
Shining. How great is that?
Yeah.
Shelley Duvall runs
And
in
it was
with a
a
knife.
superintendent with a questionable mental capacity as well, which made it even more disturbing.
All right, that's
Yeah.
great. You know what, though?
FX
That's
is the
great.
place to be.
Yes. I mean, in truth, though, we have an incredible amount of freedom to make the show that we want to make,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean,
That's
the same
freeing,
goes
right?
for Louis as well.
Yeah, our
I
buddy
mean, that
Louis,
guy,
yeah.
he writes his shows. He doesn't have to clear any of that with the network, and he makes it all in a bubble and just sends it
He
to
tells
him.
his
It's
story
fantastic.
how, like, they ask, and he's like, don't worry about it. I'll deliver the series on time.
It's great.
I know I recently did a voiceover as a radio character for a Louis episode, but enough about me.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
great.
all did.
Yeah,
it was
we
really
all-
voiceover
Right.
stuff's so easy.
I know we just sat here and did this.
The on-camera stuff that's hard, which I've done a couple. Well, you know how it is. A couple actors just talking shop. Yeah, I love Louis. But again, he's a guy. Louis a guy. But it shows you what happens when you let a creatively brilliant dude just do what
Just
he
do
does.
his thing.
He writes because like I was on looking at like prostitute ads recently.
Of course
I,
you
yeah,
are.
of course I was. But I'm thinking this is why Louis' greatness is what it is, and this is why I am fucking mediocrity. I'm looking at Eros.com. He's editing something. His obsession is his fucking show.
Sure.
And he writes it. He edits it.
He
directs
probably
it.
looks at Eros.com as well.
I would hope so.
He looks at you with envy. Goes, hey.
No, he doesn't look at me with envy. But I mean, that's the drive you got to have to pull
Jimmy.
it off, and that's
Sure.
what happens. You get a fucking. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It is brilliant.
Yeah. I follow you on Twitter, and you
Yeah.
a lot of musical tweets.
It's true.
You're like, hey, I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
And it's usually a pretty eclectic mix.
Yeah, I have a pretty varied taste in music, and it's funny. I was really reluctant to join Twitter.
Yeah.
I have a private Facebook account, and the idea of Twitter, I don't need another thing, and I don't need people to know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. We have too many things.
You know what I mean? And the part of Twitter is this notion that a lot of people just tweet about the stuff that they do in their day, and I'm a relatively private person, so I was like, I was just so resistant. But I joined, and I kind of love it. I mean, I basically use it to write music recommendations, and I retweet a lot of people that I follow. I don't write a lot of stuff about my daily life, and I kind of realized you can just sort of use it for however you want to use it.
Yeah. You just pop on whatever you want. You actually put something on there that had me in hysterics. It was a while ago too. That French girl that's telling that story about the animals.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. I was like, that's hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah, just amazing. But it was one of your tweets. You'll just link cool stuff.
Yeah, that's primarily how I use it. And it's been interesting, too, because Twitter is this giant universe wherein you can actually connect with people that you're a fan of, and they will connect with you.
Weird, right?
It is. It's fascinating. I've met people and made connections with people that I love that I don't know that I would have found an organic way to have done that in life. And I think that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I think it goes for celebrity or even relationship-wise, things like that. No matter how long or short you want them to last.
Right.
It's opened up a whole thing that it's very odd these days. We were talking about how difficult it was to even get in touch with a celebrity years ago. You had to write a letter.
Right.
It had to hopefully get past the publicist and this, and maybe get to the, Clark Gable or something. Now it's just people are there to not only just say, I love what you do, but to go, you suck, which is, I don't know how good that is, but it's just an odd thing that you have this availability of these celebrities, and you could be so nasty to people.
It is. It's kind of interesting. I mean, there are certainly people that engage that. I don't. I certainly get my fair share of, you suck.
I can't help but engage it.
It doesn't bother me. It's just to me, it's just a sort of, it's a feed of comments, and some comments ultimately rise to the top and are of some interest, and the rest of it's just
what is it like?
It can be sort of white noise.
Wow, Elijah, gee, that epic 3-film masterpiece you were in, you suck. How do you? Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's kind of silly. We get it when we get the "you suck."
Yeah, of course. It's Monday.
The Lord of the Rings guy is getting a "you suck." That's stupid.
Yeah, it is. But you don't.
You don't put it in perspective.
It really is amazing.
It's sort of pointless to entertain it because it's. You entertain it with one person and then it's another person. What's the point? It's
you block them,
right?
Nah, I just don't give a shit.
Wow.
I don't care. It doesn't. I read them and it doesn't bother me. And I've gotten, some that have written multiple times, but if you ignore it, it ultimately goes away. I think the problem with engaging is if you engage it, it just makes it worse. It exacerbates the problem.
It does.
Sometimes
it gives them energy to just keep spewing their shit.
Blocking them is great. I do.
It's a good feeling.
It's great. You're not allowed to go to someone's house with a bat and hit their wrists, but you can feel like you did.
Like I may have blocked a person once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they need, because you're not infringing on their right to do anything. You're just infringing on their right to get into your living room, which is a fair thing to not want.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't want to control people say it, but I want to control what I have to fucking listen to. That's my changing the channel.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But the worst though is a girl who's like twittering you and she's kind of hot, and then you send a DM, of course, and then you email a little bit, and of course the real phone number never comes, and you realize I figured it was a guy.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well, that'll happen.
I've run into that walkway.
What are you
It's
gonna
so
do?
interesting how social networking has changed the way we date too.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we now. Somebody can recommend somebody to us, and then we can go on their Facebook page and see photos and pre-screen and
you get like a dossier.
we can have like direct messages and just sort of dip our toe into the situation before actually.
You could be brave enough to say certain things you would never say face to face.
That's true.
And then when you finally are face to face, you've gone through so much preliminary stuff that you can almost throw yourselves right into the sack. It's quite astounding at times.
It is. It is. All of the things.
It is.
I love that. But no, all the things that you would normally have to do on multiple dates to get to know one another is now happening.
It's a lot quicker.
And
And
again,
you can do it
is
with 5
good?
different people at once. Like literally, I mean, in instant messages, you can be talking to a couple of different on the prospects.
Some hooks in the water. But like a long line fisherman.
But in some ways, I don't know how good it is. I mean, there are definitely positives to it, but it's also making it so that it's harder for people to just communicate with people.
Yeah, I don't think you get
to call
as
people
deep.
on the phone or to meet in person to have genuine communication and conversation is harder because people aren't having to be as used to that process.
I don't think you have to be get into as deep a conversation. You don't have to be as crafty or clever. Sometimes it's more of a quantity than quality kind of thing. I don't know if that's good or not.
What's worse though than when you make plans with some lump and she cancels she cancels day of, or you go out to dinner and it's a bust and she lives in an hour from the city and she's like, "Can you come and get me?" And you're like, "We're going to dinner in the city, you fucking zilch." You zilch. That's why
he's a romantic.
But he's such a romantic.
But you can cut through so much of this nonsense through text, and you get to it does jade you in a certain way because you're right. It really does hurt conversational stuff. But you weed through a lot of bullshit that would be awful.
Sometimes
and you get rid of it first.
Sometimes though, I think it's
sometimes
missed.
that bullshit is healthy though.
That first contact, initial talking. I think that's missed sometimes. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like that.
I think it's just important for communication skills, you know? I think there's a whole new generation that's growing up without it, without having to rely on those things, and I think it's going to be to our detriment to a certain degree.
How about reading people's faces when you're looking at them face to face and having a conversation? You know, you could tell by their faces how they feel about something that you're not going to get in a text or a message.
Totally.
It's just that in that line
Sure
of...
they will. You get the 2 dots and a little frowning face.
Yeah, what's wrong with
It's also kind of
with a smiley face every once in a while?
It's like an emoticon.
What's wrong with that?
just bring like
enough.
emoticon cards.
Hold them up.
Here's what I think of that.
face with tears.
Sarcasm.
Are you careful what you say because you're afraid that you're well known and like, you know, it's different for an actor.
I mean, I'm careful on Twitter.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
No, but I mean, like, even in private conversation, when you're texting, it's there forever. And it can be saved and captured.
Sure. I tend to only, I mean, if I'm texting somebody, generally, I use discretion with who I'm texting and what I'm texting to different people.
There's a trust level with certain people that you don't have with other people. And
Totally.
Thank God there's nobody cares about anything I do, because if it ever became like just scandalous for a comedian to have dick pictures out there. Oh, am I in Dutch?
By the way, that has got to be the worst idea. The notion of a dick picture, I just think is so retarded. I mean, I love a breast picture.
Yeah, good artistic shot.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Sure.
Receiving those for women are fantastic. The notion of then reciprocating with your dick, not a good idea. Not an attractive piece of anatomy to send to somebody.
Especially not the way I take them, which is on a webcam with no face, and you can see the bottom of my fat stomach and my sweatpants opening.
That's awesome.
That's an assault.
No, but I mean, I never face. I never. Terrell Owens.
Well, you can't throw your face in there.
Never, dude. Because first of all, it ruins the picture.
No, and it's plausibility, like denial.
Yeah.
You can deny that shit.
But it's
Sometimes
like,
with Jimmy, the dick and the face is in the same shot.
as long as the skirt's in there, nobody thinks anything. You know, special young lady. But no, it's very like Terrell Owens got in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but I mean, he got somebody released or Clay. Who's the singer from American Idol? Clay Aiken.
Clay
He had
Aiken?
the shirtless with his
he had a
face.
bit of
So
a
you got to
problem.
watch what you put.
There might have been a politician.
You got to put out. Oh, right.
What,
Yeah.
Clay Aiken?
Wiener.
What picture of Clay Aiken?
It was like in a gay chat room or something, but he was shirtless, and I guess they captured him. It's like, you
got to be careful with
It's
that.
just
You
if
gotta
you want
watch
to keep
what you
your
say.
life private. Yeah, if you're a private person, want to keep your life private, it's very hard to text things and trust that it's going to be kept private.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and women lie about their status, and then the guy. It's like I'm always amazed with these dummies that don't erase things.
I know.
What are you doing?
You have to know what you're dealing with. It's the internet, man. And like nothing is totally safe.
Yeah,
you have to be
nothing's
very
secure.
No.
Your
No.
phone, nothing.
No,
I mean,
even emails that you send people, you have to be aware of the fact that it's not totally secure.
It's never going away.
We will have
No.
been the pioneers, the people that have taken the beatings for making these mistakes.
We're gonna make all the mistakes for future generations
for future generations
to
that'll
learn
know.
from.
They'll know you don't
that's
do
great.
certain things. But the first guy that sent a dick pic didn't think like, oh, she's just going to look at it and delete it or save it. She's not going to send it. She sent it out to everybody. Oh shit!
Exactly.
We kind of are. We're the pioneers.
And to show you how bad it is, one of the guys from Anonymous, and those guys are computer geniuses. They're hackers.
Oh,
I mean, those guys are smart.
They're they're pretty incredible.
Yeah.
They're bright dudes.
They're very bright.
And one of them got busted because he sent out a picture of tits, but there was a traceable thing through the photo. Like,
How did one of those dudes let that
I
happen?
guess he
screwed up.
didn't realize that that picture could be traced to his girlfriend's iPhone or his iPhone or whatever
Yeah.
it
There was
was.
information embedded in the
has
photo.
metadata, all of it.
Yeah.
So they got BTK, the serial killer in Kansas.
Really?
He put something on it was a floppy disk, like an A drive.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But the information from the church that he sent it. I'm babbling.
No, it's
We've learned a lot this morning.
I know.
And we haven't even talked about Wilfred.
It's an educational show.
We want to make sure people see Wilfred Thursdays at 10 p.m.
Yes,
10
on
p.m. on
FX.
FX.
Yes,
what kind of
on the great
situations
FX.
are going to be exposed this season?
There's
More blowjobs under the table?
I think that's our sole blowjob under the table. There's not a whole lot I can talk about. There's some surprises. There's an episode that involves doggy dancing that I'm looking forward to. I think we might be showing that episode at Comic-Con as a preview, which will be exciting. You know, Ryan, my character, is in a state of recovery. We find him in this season doing a lot better than he had been last season. He has a job now. He's got out of the house. He's not sitting in the basement smoking bongs.